transformation coach. She empowers clients to make strategic habit changes and mindset shifts that allow them to break through barriers, harness their potential, and meet the person that they already are but simply haven't met yet. So go ahead and have a big round of applause for Kenni.
You won't get as far without us. I couldn't believe what he said. He was staring at me with anticipation of my response, and I was straddling between staying silent or speaking up for myself. I think he could read on my face that what he said wasn't sitting well with me, so he then added, or at least not as far as fast. I could feel my fears, insecurities, and the confirmation that I believed him well up into my throat. But this time, I didn't stay silent. In a firm, rebel with the cause strength, I said, if there's anything my recent transformation work has taught me, it's how to believe in myself. I can do anything I set my mind and heart to. And I think in an attempt to just drive home the message, I probably mentioned something about changing the world, and I could be the next Tony Robbins if I choose. There was a part of me that believed him, but there was also a part of me that believed me. And I held on to that for dear life. What he said wasn't meant to hurt me, but for me it brought back every single time I believed someone else when they told me what I was or wasn't capable of. The times I allowed my abilities, my voice, my vision to be squashed or minimized in order to abide by someone else's insecurities, limitations, or opinions. I took risks, but they were usually calculated. In some way, I was always tethered to safety, making myself smaller to fit into the world or to avoid failure. 1 year ago today, on this day, I sat at my first HCI Live. I listened intently to the finalists on the stage telling me what was possible for me, and I allowed myself to believe them. I signed up for mastery, trusting only my gut, and hoping with all my heart that my husband would be courageous enough to trust my gut too. Saying yes to mastering myself, mastering the art of coaching, mastering me and investing myself without any guarantees was at the time a bold declaration of belief in myself. What I didn't know was that declaration on that day had been a turning point for me. It had planted the seeds that had given me the courage to speak up for my belief in myself in that uncomfortable conversation, when in the past I would have stayed silent. A couple of months after that conversation, I was in yet another meeting when, unprovoked, that defiance and rebellion resurfaced. My body felt under attack. My face was hot. There was a lump in my throat. I felt defensive. At this point, I knew what it meant. I was holding myself back. That's the beauty of transformational work. There comes a point when hiding from the truth becomes more painful and more risky than risking everything to honor yourself. With the help of mastery, this tribe, my coaches, I was dropping limiting beliefs like bad habits by this point. I admitted, finally, that staying was my way of hiding from my power. It was my way of remaining tethered to safety. So I chose to cut that tie as another bold declaration of belief in myself. I explained how we were headed in different directions, and I went out on my own way to start all over. I gave myself permission to get it wrong so that I could answer to myself, despite the disapproval or opinions of those who are not responsible for my health, my happiness, and answering the calling of my soul. Believe it before you see it. Give yourself permission to be the sole grantor of permission of your life. Your parents, partners, children, friends, peers, they may never understand. Give yourself permission to believe in and belong to yourself. Finally, I know there's a part of you that doesn't feel ready to, and that's okay. But there's also a part of you that does, because it knows what you're capable of. So hold on to that part for dear life. Make it bigger. Cultivate that part of yourself every single day. I learned that I will not build the life of my dreams as long as I'm busy searching for validation, permission, and the source of my power outside of myself. We don't merely have power, we are power. Once you give yourself permission, you get to define what success looks like for you. You get to make your own rules, break your own rules, and redefine yourself as many times as you deem necessary, because this is your life. When you make yourself smaller or hold yourself back for fear of failure and rejection, are you really avoiding failure and rejection? Aren't you simply failing and rejecting yourself? Doesn't it hurt enough to shift that? I know it hurt me. Feeling less than, unworthy, and as though I was far too different to ever belong on this planet caused me to second guess, to hold myself back, and live from a place of fear. Granting yourself permission allows you to show up for your life with the unfailing belief that if the specific actions you're taking aren't correct, you'll learn along the way and evolve while doing so. I was starting at zero before this challenge, from scratch. When I was willing to believe in myself first, I began building the life and practice of my dreams. And because of this, my clients are building the lives of their dreams. Be the sole grantor of permission of your life. Believe it before you see it, and you'll go further, faster than you ever thought possible. He was right, you know. I wouldn't go as far as fast. I'm going further faster. Yeah.